Pretty Woman 2, the story that once began with a deal, now returns with destiny. The screen opens with flashes of old photographs, a young couple laughing on a rooftop, a limousine door closing, a red dress twirling under the city lights. 35 years ago, Edward Lewis met Vivian Ward. He was a man chasing business. She was a woman chasing freedom. Together they found something that neither money nor charm could buy, love. Now. Decades later, time has changed them both. Edward stands in his high-rise office, surrounded by trophies of success but burdened by silence. His reflection on the glass looks older, wiser, but emptier. In the distance, the city hums alive, glowing, careless. He whispers her name under his breath as if afraid the world might hear. Across the city, another story unfolds. A woman walks through a hotel lobby, confident, graceful, yet carrying an invisible weight. Her red heels tap softly against the marble floor. The same rhythm that once echoed through Beverly Hills. The camera lingers on her face, just long enough for us to see her eyes, warm. Nostalgic, uncertain. Between them lies a lifetime. Choices made. Roads not taken. Moments lost. But destiny has its own script. A news headline flashes across the screen. Edward Lewis returns to Los Angeles for charity gala. Vivian closes the magazine slowly. Her lips curve into the faintest smile. The camera pans to the window as golden light spills in, painting her silhouette against the morning sun. The world waits. Two souls, once intertwined by chance, are about to cross paths again, not as strangers, not as lovers, but as unfinished stories seeking closure. Soft music rises, a familiar tune reimagined. The screen fades to black with glowing letters. 35 years later. Love gets a second chance. A soft morning haze rests over Los Angeles, golden light filtering through the glass towers. Edward Lewis stands at the edge of his penthouse balcony, the city alive beneath him. Time has carved lines across his face, but not dulled the look in his eyes. The same look of a man who once took a chance on love and never forgot how it felt. The wind carries faint laughter from the street below, and for a second he swears he hears her voice again. He closes his eyes, lost between memory and longing. Across town, Vivian Ward's world is a different one now. The girl in the red dress has become a woman of purpose and grace. She owns a boutique that helps women rise above the past she once lived. The walls of her studio are lined with fabrics, sketches, and quiet hope. Yet behind her calm smile hides a question that never left her. Did he ever think of her even once? A young intern hands her a flyer for a charity gala. The name printed at the top makes her pause. Edward Lewis Foundation. Her hand trembles slightly, and for the first time in years, she feels her heartbeat quicken. As evening falls, the city prepares for the gala. Lights flicker across grand hotel windows, camera flashes paint the red carpet, and behind every smile lies a hidden story. Edward steps out of his car, greeted by applause and cameras, his charm as sharp as ever. But when his eyes wander through the crowd, they stop, frozen, on a familiar silhouette at the far end of the room. Vivian, radiant yet understated, turns slowly, their gazes locking across years of silence. The noise fades, the world blurs, and for that moment, they are back in time, the businessman and the dreamer, standing at the start of something they never finished. The orchestra swells softly as she walks past him, their shoulders almost brushing. He exhales, barely a whisper escaping his lips. Vivian. She pauses, just enough for him to see the faintest trace of a smile. Then she disappears into the crowd, leaving him surrounded by flashing lights and ghosts of what once was. The night has only begun, but destiny has already taken its seat at the table. The night air outside the gala feels heavier than before. Edward stands alone on the terrace, city lights stretching endlessly beneath him, 1,000 stories flickering in gold and silver. Inside, laughter spills from the ballroom, but none of it reaches him. His eyes trace the reflection in the glass, a man surrounded by success, yet haunted by what slipped away. Behind him, the sound of soft footsteps draws near. Vivian steps into the light, her presence calm but magnetic. For a heartbeat, neither of them speaks. The silence between them is louder than any music. She finally breaks it. "You look exactly the same," she says, her voice gentle, carrying a bittersweet warmth. He turns slowly, meeting her gaze. "And you," he replies, "look like the future I let walk away." Her laugh is quiet, almost tired. They stand there, not as strangers, but as two people carrying the weight of years they never shared. The city hums below, restless, alive, while they remain frozen in a moment that feels both brand new and achingly familiar. Inside the ballroom, whispers ripple through the crowd, two legends reunited. But for Edward and Vivian, this isn't a fairy tale. It's a reckoning. He admits what he never said aloud, that the life he built was grand but hollow, that he filled rooms with people but never found home again. Vivian listens, eyes glistening but steady. She tells him of her own journey, of how she rebuilt herself, not to forget him, but to remember who she was before him. Her words slice through the quiet. "You taught me how to dream, Edward. But you also taught me what it costs to wake up." For a moment, their hands almost touch, close enough to feel warmth, but not enough to heal the years between them. Then, a sudden call from inside pulls her away. The illusion breaks. She walks back into the golden noise of the party, leaving him standing under the stars. The music swells again, this time with a trace of sadness. As the camera lingers on his face, eyes searching, heart heavy, the storm between them isn't over. It's only just begun. For love to return, the past must be forgiven, and neither knows if they are ready to pay that price. Rain begins to fall over the city, turning the streets of Los Angeles into mirrors of light. The gala has ended, but Edward isn't ready to leave. He walks through the empty ballroom, echoes of laughter fading into silence. The red carpet is gone, the chandeliers dimmed, yet his mind burns with every word she said. He looks at the empty dance floor, the same space where he once held her close, and for the first time, he feels the weight of years crash down like thunder. He built an empire, but he never built peace. Vivian steps out into the rain, her umbrella trembling slightly as she looks up at the glowing skyline. Every drop feels like a memory washing over her, the limousine ride, the opera night, the way he once looked at her as if she were the only person in the world. She told herself that chapter was closed, but some stories refuse to fade. She whispers, "It's never really over, is it?" The rain answers softly, falling harder. Then, in the distance, headlights cut through the storm. Edward's car pulls up beside her. He steps out without hesitation, rain soaking his tuxedo, but he doesn't care. For a moment, they just stare, no anger, no pride, just truth. He speaks quietly, his voice trembling. "I spent half my life chasing success, and the other half missing you." Vivian's eyes soften, the pain in them melting into something familiar, something real. She takes a step closer, the city glowing around them like 1,000 tiny stars. They don't kiss. They don't need to. The silence says everything: forgiveness, regret, hope. He reaches for her hand, and this time she doesn't pull away. The camera circles them slowly, rain falling like silver threads. A taxi honks in the distance. A reminder that the world keeps moving, but for them, time has stopped once more. As they walk together through the storm. The music rises, a modern echo of "It Must Have Been Love," blending nostalgia with new beginnings. The lights of Beverly Hills shimmer like dreams reborn. A single line fades onto the screen, glowing softly against the night. "Pretty Woman 2, 2025, love never goes out of style." The screen turns black. The rain fades, and all that remains is the promise of one more chance.